Hey, welcome back. In this video, we are now going to look at how we can create our own ChatGPT clone without having to go to ChatGPT interface. So here, the first thing you need to do is have your API key set up as we have looked at in the past. So just actually click on create API key and an API key will be generated, and I will point you to this repository. All you have to do here is go click on open in collab. So if you create an account with Google Colab from the link I provide, you can get started. So the first thing we need to do is pip install OpenAI. We have already seen that. The another new library we'll be using here is Gradio. So you have to do Gradio. This is already there, so you don't have to code anything. So you can just actually, okay, so you can run this. Yeah, I'm just running this so that you guys can know. In the previous video too, we have provided um, um, a Google Colab notebook to you and from GitHub. So I just wanted to show you guys how to actually get started and run those. So let's do this here. Yeah, this should take a few minutes, and once it's done, cool. So, and once you have the API ready, the next thing is here we are importing two libraries. So yeah, it ran. So now I have imported the two libraries. One is OpenAI and import Gradio as GR. And as I showed you here, the URL where I got the API key from is already shared here. So the other thing I'm doing here is here is the first part of Gradio code. And here we are using Gradio blocks. So I'm not going into detail into Gradio. You guys can read the documentation from Gradio. But the idea here is for your Python scripts or data science scripts, we can actually have a UI, and we will do more projects with Gradio, and I will have a standalone Gradio course coming up wherein we'll go into detail about this. But here all we are doing is basically we are accepting an API key from the user and we are setting it. So you don't have to hard code your API key within your application. So if you want to make this as a customer application, you can let them enter their API key and get started with it. That's the advantage of doing this. So here to understand the code, here whatever the API key is passed here, I am setting it as the key and returning that key back. And here the first thing is like I mentioned, this is a block based, and key equal to I have a text box. I'm asking you to enter an API key, and in output I'll be displaying it back. And after I do that, whenever you click on button, I actually call set your API key. So the text on this will be API key, and the action when you click on the button will be we will call the function set API, and inputs we are going to pass key, and output will be whatever will be passed back here. So that's basically it, and let's actually demo.launch will launch it. So let's actually run this code here. So you will see something like this, and I'm going back here and actually copied my API key, and I'm pasting it back here. And if I do set API key, this means our API key is now set. And here you can go to playground as we have looked at in the past. Here I've just taken a model from the from OpenAI playground, and the model we are using here is text DaVinci 003, and prompt here is what we will be passing to here, and message will be what it responds back with text, and we'll strip spaces and return it back. And the function we have here for chatbot is we basically have output, where whatever the output that's given for the input, we are going to save it, and we have an history. So history is a list here in Python. So whatever query you do, we are going to the question and the answer, we are going to query it into history, and we are going to save it, and we are going to return history. Here we are going to take input as text and state, and output will be chatbot and state. So basically, let's run this. This should make it clear what we are trying to do here. Okay, so the question let me probably ask. So let's basically say one question I can ask here is who is okay. So who won 2008? Who won the last FIFA World Cup? This is definitely not going to be Argentina because this is the last World Cup, so it does not have info about this one. So yeah, it says France. And similarly, let me ask give me a code snippet to create Stripe integration with Streamlit or Python. You can ask whatever query you want. Here I'm just trying to show you whatever you query in ChatGPT, you will have a threaded message here. And in the follow-up video, we are now going to look at, yeah, it gave us a code here. You can actually copy paste it and try it out. And basically that's all I had in this video. In the next video, let's actually try to implement this chat. Instead of having side by side, let's actually do it in a block infrastructure. And if you don't like this model here, you can go to Playground, custom train your model whatever you want, and you can build a query for it. So the idea here is for whatever model you have, you can implement this. So that's basically this one. And Gradio is a data science framework in Python wherein any scripts or any image applications you have, we are going to look at more applications in the Gradio course, but here I just wanted to show you, if you don't like the default ChatGPT interface, you can actually build your own. So that wraps up this lecture. Thank you for joining.